5 dumbest mistakes in Marvel movies nobody talks about. Even the most well-liked superhero movies aren't immune to making a few mistakes now and then, and it's no secret that Marvel movies are recognized for having action-packed plot lines and spectacular visual effects. It's no secret at all. We're counting down the 8 most egregious faults made in Marvel movies, from ludicrous narrative elements to flaws in continuity. Nobody appears to want to talk about these blunders though. You'll want to hide your face when you see some of these inexplicable scenes that survive the editing process. Hello everyone and welcome to another video on our channel. In today's video, we're going to discuss the 5 dumbest mistakes in Marvel movies nobody talks about. So stay tuned to find out. Now let's start our video. Spider-Man's time travel. Given the project's scope, it's inevitable that some errors will be made along the way while attempting to create something the size of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Time is the kryptonite that threatens the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Can you sign? We're lined up!
The events of Spider-Man: Homecoming takes place in 2012, nearly immediately after the Avengers fight in New York City. After then, the story skips ahead to 2020, 8 years after it started. The only issue is that it's intended to occur immediately after Captain America: Civil War debuted in 2016, so it presents a problem. Therefore, it would have been much more satisfying if the events of Homecoming took place in 2017 at the very latest. Doctor Strange's medical error. A curious but not very significant, at least to non-medical viewers, the mishap is an honest error at the beginning of the film Doctor Strange. Stephen Strange prepares for the operation by washing his hands and putting on his mask. The operation is about to begin. The proper method for a real surgeon to do this is backward, and they are not permitted to come into contact with non-sterile things after washing their hands to reduce the likelihood of infecting the patient. This is done to prevent the spread of infection. Is it possible that a prominent surgeon who's won several honors might need to be reminded how to prepare for surgery properly? It is unknown if the inaccuracy was introduced into the screenplay during production, but the fact remains that Stephen Strange was putting himself in danger of being sued for malpractice during this one. Fury's wandering eye. Because the Marvel Cinematic Universe has gotten so carried away with alternative universes, Nick Fury's eye keeps vanishing and reappearing for no apparent reason. Fans have been waiting for years to learn how Nick Fury lost his eye, and it wasn't until Captain Marvel that they got their answer.
Well done.
He was scratched by an extraterrestrial flurkin that looks like a cat. That took place in the year 1995, but in the movie Captain America: The Winter Soldier, when Steve converses with Pierce after Nick's death, he shows him a photo of Nick Fury being sworn in as the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. And in that picture, both of Fury's eyes are there and undamaged. However, if he began donning the eye patch in 1995, he ought to have been sporting it when the picture above was taken. If you're liking this content so far, please consider subscribing and liking this video. Now let's continue. The mixtape from Peter Quill's future. James Gunn ensured that every aspect of Guardians of the Galaxy is high quality, including the visual aesthetic, the musical score, and the slight element of goofiness. Nevertheless, one particular aspect might need to be understood as either a narrative hole, if you want to think better of the cast and crew, or a simple error. As a memento of his life, before he was taken from Earth in 1988, Peter Quill was given a Walkman and a cassette tape, or 2 to be exact, to listen to as a memory of his past. Except for the fact that the TDK Seeding 2 cassettes were not produced until 1993. When he used them, he could have only acquired them if his father, Ego, had traveled back in time and presented them to Quill's mother as a gift. The lack of preparation on the part of the props team is a more likely explanation for the situation. 2 birth years of Bucky Barnes. Because it took place in a single take, this may be considered one of the ridiculous errors in the MCU. When Steve arrives at the Smithsonian Institute exhibit remembering his efforts in World War II, he takes a moment to stare seriously at the booth devoted to Bucky. This scene takes place in the first Avengers: Another War. This would be okay, except that in the brief historical note on Barnes, the year of his birth is given as 1916 at the beginning, but 1917 at the end of the note. It is not fully certain when Bucky was born. Nevertheless, Barnes claims that he is 106 years old in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which takes place in the year 2023. Therefore, 1917 is the correct year for his birth. This is something that Marvel needs to explain. Well, that's all for today's video. Tell us in the comment section how this video was. I hope that you found this one interesting. If you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing for more. And don't forget to provide us with your valuable feedback. We'll see you in the following video with some more notable celebrities, facts, and stories. And until then, stay tuned.